Hello and welcome to our very special program, The Trump Card. I'm Avantika Singh and this special is on Donald Trump and his journey from being a billionaire real estate mogul to the reality television star and now the Republican presidential nominee. When Donald Trump announced in the year 2015 that he would be running for the president of the United States, no one would have imagined that the billionaire would actually dominate Super Tuesday and receive a thumping victory. Well, this has certainly marked a turning point in his quest for the White House, making a Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton presidential battle look like a very real possibility.
Billionaire American presidential hopeful Donald Trump turned out to be the thumping Super Tuesday winner in race to the Republican nomination. Trump swamped his rivals by piling up 7 wins across the United States.
We had the Trump run through the South. Georgia, Donald Trump, projected winner. Tennessee, the volunteer state, Donald Trump projected winner. Alabama, Deep South, 50 delegates at stake. Up to the Old Dominion, Virginia. The Commonwealth of Virginia went to Donald Trump tonight. Oklahoma, neighboring state in that region, went to Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. Massachusetts, Bay State in New England, went to Donald Trump.
Trump won across the conservative South in Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Tennessee and Virginia, but also captured more moderate Massachusetts and Vermont. With these series of wins, Trump takes another step towards capturing the Republican Party's nominations and turns his sight on Democrat Hillary Clinton, who won big in 2016 campaign's biggest day of state-by-state primary voting. Hillary swept Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia and Massachusetts, a state her key Democrat rival Bernie Sanders hoped to win. With the Super Tuesday sweeps, America seems to be set for a Trump versus Clinton presidential battle.
I'm a unifier. I know people are going to find that a little bit hard to believe, but believe me, I am a unifier. Once we get all of this finished, I'm going to go after one person. That's Hillary Clinton, on the assumption she's allowed to run, which is a big assumption. I don't know that she's going to be allowed to run. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Trump's super success indicates that his anti-establishment movement has a broader appeal than expected, and his brand of volatile anti-immigrant rhetoric has more than a few takers. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, through his campaign, Donald Trump has hogged the headlines for being brash, arrogant and his frequently insulting verbal ways. Whether it is calling for a ban on Muslims entering the United States or equating Mexican to rapists, which even prompted the Pope to intervene, Donald Trump doesn't bat an eyelid before he ridicules his political rivals. But throughout, this has been a rather entertaining journey. Let's take a look at some of the worst and the best moments of Donald Trump.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on. We have no choice. We have no choice. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. They're sending us not the right people. It's coming from more than Mexico. It's coming from all over South and Latin America, and it's coming probably from the Middle East. We won the evangelicals. We won with young. We won with old. We won with highly educated. We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. We're the smartest people. We're the most loyal people. But I will address, little Rubio. This guy has a fresh mouth. He's a very nasty guy. And I actually thought that, and he's over here, and I see him starting to sweat. Like I have never seen anything like it. Thank God he has really large ears, the biggest ears I've ever seen. Because they were protecting him. It was going, I have never seen any human being sweat like this guy. A couple of good paragraphs. It's talking about northern New Jersey, draws the prober's eye. Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Maybe that's what I said. This was 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction. You know what I hate? There's a guy totally disruptive, throwing punches. We're not allowed to punch back anymore. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. That's true. You know, I love our police, and I really respect our police, and they're not getting enough. They're not. But honestly, I hate to see that. Here's a guy throwing punches, nasty as hell, screaming and everything else when we're talking. And he's walking out, and we're not allowed, the guards are very gentle with him. He's walking out like big high fives, smiling, laughing, like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. We have people that are in office that have deals with everybody. I'm self-funding my campaign. I'm putting up my own money. Nobody's going to tell us what to do. I'm working for you. I'm working for you, folks. Believe me. Oh, folks, I love you. I'll tell you what. We got to win. You got to get out to vote. I don't want your money. I just want your vote. Just get out. The Pope came out with a nasty statement. Here's the good news. He corrected the statement the following day. Just in time. Just in time. Just in time. That was a close one. That was a close one. Now I like the Pope again, okay? But with this guy, Fox, I watched the anger in his face, and he was really angry at the fact that how dare you tell Mexico, because they have gotten their way. And I love Mexico. I love the Mexican people. I respect the Mexican leaders. The problem is the Chinese leaders, the Mexico leaders, the Japanese leaders, all of them. They're too smart for our leaders. They're killing us.
Donald Trump, the controversial Republican presidential frontrunner, has India in his radar too. He does praise Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but in the same breath also claims not to know him as a person. He looks forward to garnering investment opportunities in India, but then also blames the country for taking away jobs from the Americans, pledging to bring them back if elected as the President of the United States. Let's take a look at Trump's India Connect that seems to be rather tentative and cautious.
Mr. Donald J.
He may be running for the President of the United States, but Donald Trump has India on his radar too. Even before he announced his campaign, Trump showered praise on Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
I have great confidence in India, and I will say your Prime Minister, your new Prime Minister, has done an incredible job. I'm talking to somebody looking in and, sort of an outsider looking in. I will say that he has done a unification job in India that hasn't been done, as you know, in many years. And outsiders look to India, and I think you're going to have a lot of investment coming in. The publicity that we've gotten from the developments has been, I think, a great thing for India. But we were even contacted by the office of the Prime Minister thanking me because I said some great things about him yesterday. I don't know him, I never met him. I can just say he's got a tremendous spirit, and what he's doing in terms of the view of India from the world is very, very positive.
I'm self-funding my campaign.
That was a year ago. But Trump's Modi love has prompted a group of American Indians called Hindus for Trump to pledge their support to him. In India's interest, Donald Trump is also openly suspicious of Pakistan.
Deals with everybody.
and seems to advocate an approach that Indian governments have been trying to get America to adopt for decades.
And I actually thought that
Trump, however, has no love lost for India when it comes to outsourcing jobs. At a campaign rally recently, he targeted India along with other countries for ripping off the US and declaring that China, Japan and India were taking American jobs. Trump has also proposed new restrictions on the H-1B visas, which will be bad news for India because Indian IT firms, the largest recipients of these visas, will be hugely impacted. What's more, he doesn't seem to know much about Mahatma Gandhi. Trump posted a quote on Instagram attributing it to Mahatma Gandhi, but the American media said there is no evidence that Gandhi had ever used these words. Misquote aside, the Trump-India relationship seems to be a complicated one so far. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, before becoming the Republican presidential nominee, Donald Trump was known to be a real estate mogul, a man who boasted with a big, beautiful family and a television star. Let's take a quick look at who exactly is Donald Trump and his meteoric rise.
Politics, it was all about the money for Donald Trump.
My name's Donald Trump, and I'm the largest real estate developer in New York. I own buildings all over the place, model agencies, the Miss Universe pageant, jetliners, golf courses, casinos, and private resorts like Mar-a-Lago, one of the most spectacular estates anywhere in the world.
Born on 14th June 1946 in Queens, Trump became involved in large profitable building projects in Manhattan by the time he was 35. In 1980, he opened the Grand Hyatt, which made him the city's best known and most controversial developer.
About 13 years ago, I was seriously in trouble. I was billions of dollars in debt. But I fought back and I won. Big league. I used my brain, I used my negotiating skills, and I worked it all out.
In 2004, Donald Trump was a reality TV star with the hit series. The apprentice's larger-than-life image was tarnished by the publicity surrounding his controversial personal life. Trump divorced his first wife, Ivana, in 1991. But in 1993, he married again, this time to Marla Maples, a fledgling actress with whom he had been involved for some time and already had a child. Trump filed for a highly publicized divorce from Maples in 1997, which became final in June 1999. A prenuptial agreement allotted $2 million to Maples. In January 2005, Trump married for a third time in a highly publicized wedding to a model, Melania Knauss. In June 2015, Trump stunned America by throwing his hat into the post-Obama presidential race. Through his presidential campaign, Trump's large family has stood firmly behind him, with his eldest daughter Ivanka, pregnant with her third child, virtually running the campaign.
now this is what we call a crowd.
From a controversial tycoon to a controversial presidential candidate. The question is, could Donald Trump end up as America's most controversial president?
And they're terrific people and they've been so supportive and we just appreciate it.
I was bankrupt. I never went bankrupt. So probably I'll sue her because it would be fun. I'd like to take some money out of her fat ass pocket. I actually think I have the best temperament. People love me. And you know what? I've been very successful. Everybody loves me.
I went to an Ivy League school. I'm very highly educated. I know words. I have the best words.
And with that, we've come to an end of this special program on Donald Trump. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned and keep watching more news and updates on the other side.